All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're cracking open One World Under Doom, issue number 1. It's the start of Victor Doom's latest attempt to get power. Right from page 1, Marvel sets the tone. Doom is addressing the entire world through every screen on the planet. It's not like grainy terrorist video. It's Doom looking straight into the camera, being super calm. Doom literally says,
"Earlier this morning, the leaders of every nation on Earth, kings and queens and warlords and presidents, each willingly swore fealty to Doom. As of this moment, every nation on Earth has become a province of a unified Earth, a new, grand, united Latveria. To those watching this broadcast, I know it must be shocking for you. Changes to power hierarchies often are, and I know what you expect. Perhaps slave labor, building eternal monuments to the glory of Doom, or perhaps death squads, yes, to hunt down the enemies of Doom, finally ending the threat of the dangerous and hated Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. No, for in the face of his unprecedented power, Doom is not petty, Doom is humble, Doom is magnanimous, and Doom begins his rule with but 2 small decrees. War between nations is of course outlawed. There shall be no conflict between Latveria's provinces. This is new peace under Doom, the Pax Victoris. It is the first of Doom's gifts to the world."
Then we cut to some military guy in some shadowed side room. He's loading a pistol, muttering into a phone, clearly planning something drastic. Before he can act,
Crash!
Doom himself tears through the wall in a storm of sparks and metal. No minions, no warning, just Doom, making sure one more trigger-happy soldier doesn't derail his grand announcement. Next, we jump to a secret strategy mission where the Avengers and Fantastic Four are crammed around one giant table. It's a who's who of Marvel powerhouses. There's Cap, there's Iron Man, Sue Storm, and for some reason, Squirrel Girl. She's hanging out like she's supposed to be there. For those who don't know who Squirrel Girl is, I did a little digging because I don't know who she was either, and apparently she was born with a tail and squirrel-like attributes. But she's not a mutant or an inhuman. Apparently she's a mutate. On top of that, she's had crazy battles beating Thanos, Doctor Doom, Baron Mordo, Korvac, and even Ego. I haven't read any of those stories, but she kind of seems OP for someone named Squirrel Girl. But anyway, the Avengers are debating whether this worldwide Doom broadcast is real or just another Latverian stunt. Tony says there's no way this is real, and Cap doesn't even look up as he replies, "That new flag flying above the White House sure says otherwise." That's a crazy line. It straight away confirms what's happening. Then you just get Black Widow, right? She cuts in through a hologram, and she's going on about how there's some action going on, and before you know it, she cuts them in. She shows them the feed. It opens to Zemo. He's got, the first panel just looks like him and Hydra soldiers and tanks and what have you. They're basically declaring war on Doom. I only know Zemo from the MCU, and this dude seems way more unhinged than MCU Zemo. Zemo hijacks that same broadcast that Doom was on, and he says,
"People of Earths, I banned Zemo and reaching you using the same broadcast override Doom did, but unlike him, I will make this brief. Many of you don't like me, but don't worry. We in Hydra have long known we don't need your love to earn your respect. And if you know anything, know this. Neither Baron Zemo nor Hydra itself will ever be ruled over by anyone, much less by a ruthless, degenerate mongrel. The very idea is laughable. Doom playing at being emperor, a man whose ancestors never earned themselves a homeland. My forces and I, on the edge of Latveria, the barrier surrounding it is permeable to us, thanks to our superior Hydra technology. We now march on Doomstadt. We march on Doom. And we will end this ridiculous charade once and for all. Hydra, move out."
So Hydra just literally declared war on Doom and Latveria. So who knows what's going to happen? And knowing that they can't sit this out, the Avengers make their move, right? Sue Storm just casually turns an aircraft invisible or something. So when I wrote this, I couldn't discern what happened, But then as you continue on and you read the dialogue, it's the most, like, gut punch. You know, Spider-Man's just like, why did we have Sue turn this invisible? Why didn't we just use one of Tony's planes? My bad, all right? Sometimes people make mistakes. The whole vibe of it is like, you know, classic Avengers, like Cap tightening his shield, Thor spinning the hammer, Squirrel Girl probably got some snacks, I guess. I don't really know what she would be doing, brushing her tail. I mean, sure. So the Avengers land near the Latvian border, and I can't tell if it's Iron Man or War Machine. And they're like, you know, he's like, okay, people, get ready. Latveria's been closed for months, and we don't know what it's going to be like in there. And as soon as the Thing goes to run forward, he smacks into a force field. Vision says, if this shield can prevent me from phasing through, it must be stronger than what Baron Zemo encountered. And then, like, literally before you know it, there's another broadcast. And this time, it's Zemo totally pulling a 180. He says,
Hello again, Earth. Baron Zemo here to announce that I was in fact mistaken. Doom is doing what's best for the world, and Hydra is going to join him. There is a better way, and Doom has found it.
And then Doom says,
Doom demands schools and hospitals, thus Hydra will build them, under whatever supervision the local authorities deem appropriate to ensure they are built quickly and effectively.
And Zemo says,
Other branches will work on clearing landmines from contaminated areas around the world. Hydra, they are our top priority, and only priorities.
And then Iron Man says, like, it's gotta be. It's fake. It's gotta be.
Begin without delay. Full resources authorized. Hydra daily verification code 2542 Soul. Zemo out.
And then Iron Man's like, I guess not. So, like, clearly the Avengers aren't buying it, right? So they track Hydra forces to, like, a massive floating city, and Captain America. I'm not sure if this is Captain America or if this is technically the Falcon, because Captain America and the Falcon dressed as Captain America are standing right next to each other, and I'm not really sure what's going on. But Sam Wilson basically says it's a flying island. He crashed one into the ocean a while back, and you know, they decide to break into it. It's like wave after wave of Hydra soldiers, right? But it's just Tuesday for the Avengers. You know, Cap's shield ricochets off the squads. Thor calls the lightning. Squirrel Girl takes out a platoon with, I don't know, squirrels, I guess. So I think it's Captain Marvel says something about, like, the door's probably armored, reinforced, magically sealed, and Iron Man's basically like, how much you want to bet it doesn't make a difference, and blows through the door, right? And he's basically like, hey, you know, my friend Black Widow once told me you can secure a door as much as you want, but it's only ever as secure as the wall it's attached to, which is an awesome line. And it really made me think. I was like, oh, that's kind of frightening, you know, because, like, if you, let's say, you know, you're building your house and you're like, I'm going to put in an iron door so nobody can ever get to me. Well, the sheetrock is still sheetrock, you know, and plywood's plywood. Iron doors are cool and all, but you drive a car through the sheetrock and the plywood, it's no good. But they make their way to Zemo, and Zemo's basically like,
What do you know of power? What do you know of ambition?
and Captain America's like, huh? What do you know of October 1st, 1945? And Zemo's like,
Huh?
and Cap says, that's what I thought. And he just beheads him, right? And it turns out it's a Doombot, right? And we cut to Steve, and he's like, that's the date that Hydra was founded by Baron Strucker. I've never forgotten it, and Zemo wouldn't either. And I think that's Johnny Storm, who says, a Doombot, of course it is. But I believe this may actually be of use to us. You know, Doombots carry recordings of their actions, and I've never let Victor know I can sometimes recover them. We may yet be able to learn what he's truly done here. And then we see Doom literally killing Zemo. Like, it just straight up snaps his neck. And while everybody's catching their breath from this walk in the park, Iron Man's like, "Hey, Reed, can you duplicate that broadcast?" And Reed's like, "Yeah, I'm Reed Richards." And Iron Man decides to tell everybody on Earth, like, "Hey, yeah, so Doom killed Zemo, and so the Zemo you saw wasn't Zemo." And he's like, "Hey, Earth, Iron Man here. You're probably wondering what the heck's been going on with Hydra and Doom, huh? Like, yeah. Or, you're just waking up. And, bud, you have missed a ton. Wild morning. Go ask some Victorian child what day it is while I catch the rest of us up." I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like, go ask some Victorian child what day it is. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. But he basically tells the world, like, hey, here's his head. It was a Doom bot. The message, it was not good. The Hydra people hear it and they're like, "Oh, our guy's dead. All right." So, we see somewhere else in Europe, and there's a Hydra guy, and he's like,
Our leader is murdered. The Baron is dead. Dead. So your lives are forfeit too.
and he's going to attack somebody, and it's this lady with a stroller, and he's like, "So you will pay the price." And all of a sudden, he's shot, and we turn the page. It's Doom on an alternate universe version of himself that's a T-Rex, and he's riding him, and he says,
That was a mistake. It is not one you will make again.
So Doom retakes that broadcast back over and explained how he killed Zemo and the Red Skull like months ago.
Yes, I killed Zemo months ago. I killed the Red Skull too. These men were proud, unrepentant Nazis and the leaders of a virulent gang of racists. They were, in short, a problem. One that Earth's mightiest heroes have been trying and failing to solve since World War II. But Doom did it for you in a day.
He basically eradicated two of the worst enemies. Like, bang, Zemo, Red Skull, gone. And so Doom just starts wiping out all of Hydra, right? Just taking care of business. And the last page that we get is a woman holding her child, with Doom extending a hand. And she looks hopeful. Like, she sees him as a hero. Like, he just came and saved the day. Saved her and the baby. And that's the end of the first one. As someone who hasn't read comics in a while, but I've watched all the MCU films over and over again, how do comic book fans feel about the MCU? Like, is it when people say they're car people, but then all they watch is like Fast and the Furious and don't modify their 2013 Hyundai Sonata at all? Like, let me know down in the comments. I figured that's a fun little call to action or whatever. In this one, it seemed like Doom calculated every move. He saw everything coming. Like, he knew the Avengers would come. He knew that it would get broadcast or whatever, like the defeat of Zemo. And I can't wait to read number 2. But comic book aside, I wanted to go on a little tangent. So if people actually watch this, and I'm not just screaming into the void, if you click off now, you're not going to miss anything. This is just a complete personal tangent. But if you're here, thanks. I just wanted to let people know why I'm doing this and what this is. So I suffer from anxiety, right? So before I begin, I was going to script this, but I felt it would be a little bit more genuine to just do it off the cuff, right? So I suffer from anxiety. Like, not anything worse than, normal anxiety, but coming from zero anxiety to anxiety it was frightening, right? And the one thing I've noticed that really helps with my anxiety is getting my mind off of things. And ever since my friend moved to Colorado, we used to ride motorcycles together, and that would really take my mind off of the anxiety. But ever since he moved to Colorado to get his doctorate, which he got, by the way, very proud of him, I haven't had that thing to distract me. So while reading these comic books and recording this and editing these videos, it kind of became that thing. My anxiety's essentially gone while I do this. And, my anxiety's not terrible. Like, I'm on medication and I'm seeing doctors. Like, I have an endocrinologist appointment tomorrow to get my testosterone checked and things like that. But it's become uncomfortable to leave my house. Not agoraphobic levels to where I'm afraid, but being in public and being at work is much more uncomfortable than it is being at home. But the thing is, I have to go to work because I have a 7-month-old son and a wife that I have to provide for. So you just kind of got to suck it up and go, even though it sucks. And I work at a metal factory, or a metal shop. It's not terrible. It's actually a really good job if you were more mentally stable. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm hoping to crush a couple of caterpillars with 2 bees, or whatever this saying is. I'm hoping that, one, I can do this to crush my anxiety, to just not get rid of it, but to help with it, because like TV doesn't help. Mindless things don't help. I need something that allows me to get out of my own head for a little bit. I want to build a community, during I want to say the peaks of my anxiety, listening to Comics Explained really helped calm me down and help me get the proper sleep I need. Because when you have anxiety, your sleep is very important, but you also can't sleep because your brain won't stop. So it's kind of like a vicious cycle. It's really bad. Not like physically bad, but it stinks. And 3, I'm hoping I can make money off of this, and this could become my job, and I could stay home and be calm and in an environment that I'm very comfortable with. Not to say that I want to make tons of money. I don't want to make my goals aren't to be whatever the top YouTubers make or whatever. Like, if I can just make a little bit to take care of me and mine, then I'm happy. Like, I'm not going to make a Patreon because I don't think anybody should have to pay for this. I don't think anybody would pay for this. I'm not going to do merch unless, if I'm not yelling at the void still, unless somebody wants it, which then it would just be sold at cost. There wouldn't be any profit. And, I'm not going to do sponsors, I don't think, unless it's not enough off of just AdSense or whatever. Then I might have to take a sponsor. Money's money. But I just want it to be really forthright and, either scream into the void or let everybody know what's going on. If I'm not screaming into the void and someone is here, thank you and welcome. I just want to say how happy it is that you're here, how happy I am that you're here. If I can turn this into a career or a living, that would mean the world to me. I think it would be beneficial for everyone. You guys get some stories. We can have a conversation. I want to build a little community of people that can always rely on each other. Like, I put out a video, right? And, if you don't like the way my mic sounds, tell me. If you don't like the way I'm pronouncing words, tell me. If I get something wrong in a comic book, tell me. If there's a story you want me to check out, if there's a story you want me to cover, leave it in the comments. I will read them. I'll do it. I mean, I don't know comic books very well. So if there's a cool story out there that someone recommends, I want to check it out. But, tangent aside, until next time. Me, 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 me.